Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. Here I am, Sunday morning. Got up a little bit early and had this set up from the night before, where I started doing this. And I set it all up and I just got started this morning. It hasn't taken me as long as in the past. I think I kind of trained myself to follow the system that's in place when the cards arrive from Payoff Pitch, and you need to sort them into the teams. Now I'm sorting the 1969 season because I'm using Strat right now to play a Memorial, but I also want to play some of the games for the Memorial for Mel Stottlemyre and using Payoff Pitch. Great little system where it's very, very limited chart lookup, and I really like that about this system. I like the cards. The cards are amazing quality. You'll see that as I put the last group in place, and just showing you the system that I use here to set up all these cards by team. And have a sip of my coffee. All right. So I grab a batch here, keep them in order in how they came, and it starts off with Los Angeles. Now let me track where I have LA down. Here it is. So I have LA there. Next is, then it starts up here, Oakland, and then Cleveland. And I just followed the groupings. They came in some rubber bands, about 8 different sets. Seattle, Boston, or batches, 8 different batches of the 69 set. And I just pulled each batch and I just followed the order, and all the batches stayed in that order pretty much. So Detroit, then Chicago, I put it down here. Then we go to New York, we go to Houston, Atlanta. Now these are amazing cards. They have a little bit of color. They're like a glossy finish, so it feels like, you know, it doesn't get as stained. Like the paper won't absorb the natural oils from your skin right away. So it kind of has that ability to kind of protect against that, defend against that. California starts up here again. California, Oakland, Cleveland, Seattle, Boston, KC. This is the last batch, so I wanted to finish up showing you. Chicago's down here, New York, Atlanta jumps over here, and then it's St. Louis. And they all seem to come in the same order, so it's not as difficult if you just don't, if you just kind of follow one order and stick to it. So that's good the way they set it up. I know I've had some batches where it wasn't as organized, but this batch happens to be very organized and it's easy to follow here. Boston, it it has a natural order and you just follow it. Mel Stottlemyre, there he is. And Houston, then we go to St. Louis. Here's another batch. LA, so that continues where we dropped off, where we left off. New York, National, San Diego, Pittsburgh combined, and over here we put the stadiums. Then we started California, Oakland, what is that, Cleveland, Baltimore, Seattle, Boston. So this is, I think I'm missing the 87 set and the 94 set. Those are the only 2 sets I still haven't purchased from sets that I buy, 60s and 70s sets and 80s sets. I love all those. So anything he comes out with for those sets, I'm going to be purchasing. And to support, this is great work, amazing work. The game really, the game mechanics flow very smoothly. Very little chart lookup once you know a couple of the tricks. And he's customer service is amazing. At Payoff Pitch, Joe Bryant, I believe it is. Hope I got the name right. Can't remember if it's Bryant or Brian, one of those. But I know it's Joe. And he gets right back to you if you email him. Seattle, right there. Boston, we're almost to the end here. And I just wanted to show you, it's a great exhilarating feeling when you finish this sort of thing, going back to when we were kids, and we organize the cards and move the cards around, and it brings you that nostalgia of another time and place of so it's nice. Phillies I got up there, Pittsburgh back down here, then the combined, and then Yankee Stadium. This is the last little batch here, and I got my cat, it's up to no good over to my right, so I may have to jump and save my cards. They ended up on the floor the other day when I left the door to my studio open, and the cat came in here and was playing with the dice. Dice ended up all over the floor. Washington, Minnesota, Tony Oliva, Chicago. Then it's Bill Robinson, played with the Yankees in '69. Later he would go on to be a very productive Pittsburgh Pirate. St. Louis, Chicago, Montreal, San Francisco, Jerry Grody, Mets, San Diego, Philadelphia, almost to the end. Combined, and then it starts again at the top. Oakland, Baltimore, Seattle, Kansas City. Now you get a lot of cards in these sets. You get up to 35 cards at least in a lot of these sets. So you have a lot of players that you don't normally have in a lot of other sets. It's really, really well worth it's a great value, worth the price. You get all the guys that you need to run historical replays. The way I like to do it, I like to kind of pull the actual lineups from Baseball Reference and run those historical replays using the actual players that played. I try to get everybody in, as many as I can. I play a little bit old school in terms of pitching changes. You know, maybe a regular, like if I play a modern, that's why I love playing the old time, because you'll play a lot of games, there won't be any pitching changes, you know, and I love that because it really gets the game going, you know, it doesn't drag on, and that's really what slows down our game, is all the pitching changes. I just looked at a 2009 one-game playoff between the Twins and the Tigers, where I believe it was the Twins. They used, I think, 9 or 10 pitchers in the 12-inning game. So I'm going to put a rubber band around these now. And anyway, as I said, if I play a modern game, let's say there's 6 pitching changes in a game. Well, I'll do 3 or 4. And if I can get away with doing 3 or 2, that would be like a perfect world. But I usually try to keep it realistic. You know, I don't overdo it in the modern games. But when I do play the 60s and the 70s, I love the fact that the pitchers are pitching 300 innings, you know, and you can kind of let them in there, and you can just roll and see what's going to happen in the game. And check out my videos online. I have a lot of videos for all different types of games. I have highlights. A lot of times I'll just record the highlight of the game. I just had a really crazy game when I replayed the 2016 APA Mets Giants one-game playoff. It was one of the craziest games I've rolled in a long time, and I really enjoyed that. And you can go to 4250 on that video, and you can start watching the action there. It's an incredible top of the ninth and bottom of the ninth. I don't know, it's really unbelievable. The guys who watched it were like, what? You know, it stood out in everybody's mind. So anyway, that's it, payoff pitch. I'm going to put a rubber band around all these, just kind of separating a little bit so I can grab them. And that's what I want to share with you. It's a great system. It's a great, if you can see these cards, they're heavy duty, thick. They got color on them. They've got all the information you need. These are the pitchers, these are the batters. Pretty much 90% comes off the batter's card. But every pitch goes through the pitcher first, which I really like, because that's kind of where the ball starts, right in the pitcher's hand. And that's it, pretty much. So I just want to say hello. I want to show you how I do this in case you want to do it yourself. And I'm going to sign off right now. All right, roll some games and keep rolling, guys. Be good.